going on after high school, right? You
Mhm.
wanted to play baseball somewhere. So talk a little bit about what was that transition like? Like, what was it like to actually take all of the things from your high school and then the recruiting process briefly, and how did your college years kind of play out with sports or competitive sports?
Yeah, so the recruiting process for me as an undersized athlete who does nothing overly impressive from an athletic standpoint, especially at that time, was very self-guided. So I was putting myself on the radar for going to showcase camps and stuff like that. So I looked at a couple small Division I schools and then primarily focused on Division III schools. One of the things that I was fortunate enough to have is a set of parents who were very honest with me and willing to have some of the conversations that, quite frankly, a lot of parents won't have with their kids. And we discussed the fact that baseball was done after college. Like, maybe you might be able to play independent league ball and just like mess around there just for fun. But the reality is I was never going to play minor league baseball. I was never going to play major league baseball. Like, that wasn't going to be a legitimate career path option. So I needed to pick a school for academics. The focus was find the academic schools first and then look at ways to get on their radar from a baseball perspective. So that's kind of what I did. I ended up choosing a small Division III school in Tennessee called Sewanee. So going from a program that was very much like regimented, a lot of oversight, we get to college and we have fall practice and stuff like that. But aside from our organized practices, the weight room policy was come in on your own, do whatever you want, sign this sheet to let me know that you're actually doing training, and like come chat with the coach maybe once a month or something like that. So it was very disorganized. So that was a little challenging for me initially because I don't know anybody at this school. Like, I think there were 5 people from my high school that were there between my class and then the couple of classes above me. So I know no one. Not having organized team activities until fall practice starts is a little difficult because like I'm going into the weight room, but I'm working out at the same time as other baseball players, and neither of us know that the other one is a baseball player. So that was a little difficult. Then like the general approach to the sport was very different. Like the philosophies on hitting, managing pitcher workload, stuff like that was a little bit different. And I was not very malleable with some of my thoughts on that. So that was difficult because I get there and I've got a high leg kick for hitting. And, I'm coming off of a few years of success in high school, and it's not like we're playing slouch teams. Like, we were a small school, but my senior year, over 20% of my at-bats came against Division I pitchers, like guys who would play D1 year the fall or 2 years later. So like, I know that I'm capable of matching up against Division III pitchers. And within the first 3 weeks of practice, like my swing is getting altered completely. Like, I don't even get a chance to show that I'm capable of doing or performing at this level before he's like, this is not going to work. So that was a little bit challenging, but it's one of those things. I think it was a good experience to learn how to adapt and figure out how to coexist with people who are in positions of power with different philosophies than I had.
Yes. I think there's so many great things out of there. I mean, yeah, even, when you think about growing up through college, there's a lot of experiences that are challenging or, doesn't quite go your way and you can learn from it. But I also think like in the position that you are now, even for me too, when you're coaching people, you kind of remember and take those experiences with you because you realize that it has to be more of a two-way street. Like, you have to understand where the person's at in order for you to you can't just blindly give everyone the same coaching cues, right? Which we'll talk about when we talk about more CrossFit and training stuff.